Hannibal Lecter is a very famous character. He is a fictional serial killer, and yes, he is a cannibal. He first appeared in a book called Red Dragon. This book was written by Thomas Harris. Hannibal Lecter is very smart, but he is also very evil. He eats his victims, which makes him even scarier. He has been in many movies. Anthony Hopkins played him in The Silence of the Lambs. This movie is a classic and, well, it is very scary. What makes Hannibal Lecter so interesting? He is both charming and terrifying. This is a scary combination. He is very intelligent. He understands people very well and uses this to manipulate them. This is how he gets what he wants. Hannibal Lecter is a monster, but he is a human monster. This makes him even more frightening. He reminds us that evil can be anywhere. Ed Gein was a real-life serial killer. He lived in Wisconsin and did terrible things. He inspired the character of Hannibal Lecter. Gein dug up bodies from graves and made things out of their skin. He made masks, lampshades, and even a belt. He also killed 2 women. Gein's crimes were horrifying. They shocked the world. He was a true monster. His story influenced the creation of Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. This character skins his victims. Ted Bundy was another serial killer. He was handsome and charming, and he used this to gain the trust of his victims. This is one way he was like Hannibal Lecter. Bundy was convicted of killing many women. He confessed to 30 murders. He was very smart and even represented himself in court. Bundy's manipulative nature and his ability to appear normal while committing horrific acts are reflected in Hannibal Lecter's character. Lecter, like Bundy, uses his intelligence and charm to deceive and manipulate those around him. Section 5. The Monster of the Wineville Chicken Coop, Gordon Northcott. Gordon Stewart. Northcott was a Canadian serial killer. Born in Saskatchewan in 1906, Northcott moved to Los Angeles with his parents in 1924. He was a seemingly ordinary young man, but beneath the surface lurked a dark and twisted mind. He kidnapped, abused, and murdered young boys in the 1920s. His crimes were not just acts of violence, but were marked by a level of cruelty that shocked the nation. Northcott's victims were often lured with promises of work or adventure, only to meet a tragic end. Northcott, with the help of his mother, lured boys to their ranch. His mother, Sarah Louise Northcott, was complicit in his heinous acts, aiding in the abductions and even participating in the abuse. The family dynamic added a chilling layer to the already horrifying crimes. This ranch became known as the Wineville Chicken Coop. It was here that Northcott carried out his gruesome deeds, turning a place of supposed safety and productivity into a site of terror. The chicken coop, an innocuous structure, became a symbol of horror. The boys were subjected to unspeakable horrors. Northcott's methods were brutal and inhumane, leaving a lasting impact on the community and the families of the victims. The psychological and physical torment inflicted on these young boys was beyond comprehension. Northcott's crimes, like those often attributed to Hannibal Lecter, involved the abduction and murder of innocent victims. His actions were not only criminal, but also deeply disturbing, reflecting a mind devoid of empathy and consumed by evil. The gruesome nature of his crimes and the involvement of a family member in his crimes add a layer of complexity and horror to his story. The case of Gordon Northcott remains one of the most chilling and disturbing in the annals of criminal history, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human soul. Section 6. The Heart of Darkness, Albert Fish. Albert Fish was a serial killer in the 1920s. Born in 1870, Fish's early life was marked by tragedy and hardship. His father died when he was just 5 years old, and his mother, unable to care for him, placed him in an orphanage. It was there that Fish began to develop his disturbing tendencies. The orphanage was a place of cruelty and abuse, and Fish later recounted that he was often beaten and whipped. These early experiences left a deep mark on him, shaping the monstrous figure he would become. He was known as the Gray Man. This nickname came from his unassuming appearance. which allowed him to blend into society despite his horrific crimes. Fish was a master of deception, often presenting himself as a kindly old man to gain the trust of his victims and their families. He was also called the werewolf of Wisteria. He preyed on children. Fish was a cannibal. His crimes were not just acts of murder, but of unspeakable horror. He would lure children away from their homes, often under the guise of offering them treats or small jobs. Once he had them in his grasp, he would subject them to unimaginable torture before finally killing them. He tortured and killed his victims. Fish's methods were brutal and sadistic. He used a variety of tools and devices to inflict pain, taking pleasure in the suffering of his victims. His actions were driven by a twisted sense of gratification, and he showed no remorse for the lives he destroyed. He wrote about his crimes in gruesome detail. Fish would often send letters to the families of his victims, describing in graphic terms what he had done to their loved ones. These letters were filled with horrific details, revealing the depth of his depravity. They served as a chilling reminder of the evil that lurked within him. His crimes were some of the most horrific in history. The sheer brutality and inhumanity of his actions shocked the nation. Newspapers of the time were filled with stories of his atrocities, and the public was both horrified and fascinated by the man known as the Grey Man. Fish, like Hannibal Lecter, engaged in cannibalism, a depraved act that is particularly disturbing. His acts of cannibalism were not just about consuming flesh, but were part of his ritualistic approach to murder. He believed that by eating his victims, he could absorb their life force, a belief that added a macabre layer to his already horrifying crimes. The brutality and cruelty exhibited by Fish in his crimes are echoed in the character of Hannibal Lecter, solidifying Lecter's place as a symbol of pure evil. Fish's legacy is one of terror and revulsion, a dark chapter in the annals of criminal history. His story serves as a grim reminder of the depths of human depravity and the horrors that can lurk behind a seemingly benign facade. Section 7. From Page to Screen. The Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs was a huge hit. It won many awards. It made Hannibal Lecter a cultural icon. The movie is about a young FBI trainee. Her name is Clarice Starling. She has to get help from Lecter. She wants to catch another serial killer. The movie is scary and suspenseful. It shows how Lecter thinks. Anthony Hopkins' performance is brilliant. He makes Lecter unforgettable. Section 8. The Legacy of Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter is one of the most iconic villains ever. He is both repulsive and fascinating. He is a reminder of the dark side of human nature. Lecter has had a huge impact on popular culture. He has inspired other movies, TV shows, and books. He is a cultural phenomenon. Section 9. Conclusion: The Enduring Fascination with Evil. Hannibal Lecter is a product of our darkest fears. He embodies the ultimate predator, lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. His character is a chilling reminder of the evil that can exist within humanity. He is a reminder that monsters are real. Not just the ones in our nightmares, but those who walk among us, hidden behind a veneer of normalcy. Hannibal Lecter, with his sophisticated demeanor and terrifying intellect, blurs the line between man and monster. But he is also a fascinating character. His complexity, his intelligence, and his ability to manipulate those around him make him a subject of endless intrigue. We are drawn to his story, not just because of the horror, but because of the enigma he represents. Real-life killers like Gein, Ted Bundy, Gordon Northcott, and Albert Fish helped to create Hannibal Lecter. These men, with their gruesome crimes and twisted minds, provided the blueprint for one of fiction's most terrifying characters. And Albert Fish helped to create Hannibal Lecter. Their heinous acts shocked the world and left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. They serve as a grim reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human soul. Their crimes shocked the world. The brutality and sheer inhumanity of their actions left people reeling, struggling to comprehend how such evil could exist. These stories, though horrifying, captivate us because they force us to confront the reality of human nature. Their stories continue to fascinate and horrify us. We are drawn to the macabre details, the psychological profiles, and the chilling narratives. It's a morbid curiosity, a need to understand the incomprehensible, that keeps us engaged with these tales of terror. We may never understand what drives people to commit such terrible acts. The motivations behind these crimes are often complex and multifaceted, rooted in psychological, social, and sometimes even biological factors. Despite our best efforts, the true nature of evil remains elusive. But we can learn from them. By studying these individuals and their actions, we can gain insights into the warning signs and potential triggers. This knowledge can help us develop better prevention strategies and intervention methods. We can try to prevent them from happening again. Through education, awareness, and community efforts, we can work towards a safer society. While we may never eradicate evil entirely, we can strive to mitigate its impact and protect those who are most vulnerable.